Yo, what's up guys? Welcome. So give me a second guys, actually. Hold up. I'll put some music. Okay, there we go. I just wanna have some calm music today. I don't wanna really listen to all that rap cap. But over here, as you guys can see, so basically this is the strategy, right? Okay, so the first thing that you wanna do is my god, I can't with this Spotify ads, man. It's so annoying. Like every 15 seconds, it should just. I gotta get premium at some point. I'm too lazy to get it. Anyways, you guys can see that these highs over here. Let me reduce this a bit. It's too loud. Okay. So as you guys can see, these highs over here, like from what we can see, this has been rebalanced, right? But you see this like long-term high in this specific like just look at this dealing range right here, right? Like this dealing range, for example. You see how like these lows were taken out by this low, and then it's like basically bullish, and like the overall structure is going bullish on the 4 hour. Okay, so mind you, this is because I checked 4 hour first. Okay, then I drop down to 15 minute, and then I drop down to 1 minute. Okay, so 15 minutes basically where I take the consider PD arrays, and 1 minute is where I entry. Okay, so let me explain what I do. So as you guys can see, this has been swept, right? So as you can see, that's this equity sweep over here. So obviously this is just a pullback in the grand scheme of things. So what I'm expecting is to overall go here, because this is the long-term high. As you can see, this has not been rebalanced. All of this has been rebalanced by this, but this has not been rebalanced. So this, what is price doing? Going bullish towards what? This, right? Basically what I'm going to show you guys is this is basically in the grand scheme of things, we know this leg of price action is not really a bearish pullback, right? In reality it's supposed to be joined towards here. Okay, it's pretty simple. You can see it basically price draws over here, and then it manipulates, and you see this pullback, and it's basically gonna reverse on your head if you don't know if this is something that you're unaware of. I can't speak for God's sake. Anyways, what you guys want to do afterwards is just pay attention to like the specific areas in price action. For example, you guys can see that there is a order block. So you see it's been reclaimed over here, and you see this structure has been broken towards the upside. So now we're bullish once again. We're on the right track to go bullish, right? So you can see that over here. We have broken structure, we pull back. So as soon as we break this structure, obviously we know for a fact that we're going to be bullish, because we don't want to stay for all this confirmation, right? Because it's a 4 hour, it's going to take a while. So you don't want to like wait for too much confirmations first. So let me show you guys how I do this. Okay, so over here you guys can see that this level has been retested with this manipulation. So what I'm expecting after this retest, after this manipulation at this order block, what I'm expecting here, right? Let's say let me just go back in time towards this point. Okay, this point in time. So what I'm expecting right here is for this high, okay, this swing high to be broken. Okay, so not really, my bad, sorry. This low has been swept. Okay, this low has been swept. So what I'm saying here is after this manipulation happens over here, right, what I'm expecting to do is drop down to the 1 minute, right? And I'm expecting the market structure shift on the 1 minute. Okay, so basically let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So you guys can see that over here there is a swing high. Okay, so you see it's been broken, and as soon as it pulls back to this area, so you don't want to like entry just randomly, you want to entry, so because don't worry, because here's the thing about price action, right? Price action sometimes just goes with like, it basically misses your like entry and then just goes higher just to drop towards your entry and then go higher. So the idea is like, let's say for example, like you entry from here thinking you basically missed this entry, right? Like let's say like you enter somewhere like here. Okay, let me just zoom in. Let's say you enter somewhere here thinking you missed the entry, but in reality price action will drop towards this point anyway and then go higher. You get what I mean? So like it always happens. So you want to put the stop loss at the previous for example, like over here, you want to put this at the exact level as to whatever the next draw is. For example, like over here you can see that this was the draw, so you want to put it like lower than that. Okay, so you see over here I have the you don't want to you never actually want to put it right at the stop loss, right? You want to put it at least 10 pips below the usual swing low. Okay, so once you do that, obviously we see the market structure shift right now. So you can see that this has been a market structure shift over here. So as you can see, market has shifted in structure. So now I'm expecting a pullback, and then I'm going to be entering at this point. So where am I entering towards? Sorry. So the point where I'm trying to take this towards is the first draw on liquidity. Okay, you can see there's an order block over here, so I'm expecting a rebalance over here. So up to this point, I can take this trade. Okay, up to this specific point, I can confidently take this trade because I'm expecting a retest at this order block, at this supply level order block. Okay, so now let's see how this plays out. Let's see if this is a bad trade, because there's no 100% accuracy. It's all in the back testing and like how it works out, right? So sometimes it might miss the entry, so it might completely miss the entry, or just come back, take this, and then go higher. So let's see how this plays out. Seems like it just went without letting us in. That's okay. All right. So sometimes it won't pull back. So if you don't want to like panic entry either, because if you panic entry, it's gonna basically fuck your things up. Okay. So obviously we know we're bullish. Okay. So the last thing that you want to do is really be bearish, right? So you can see that the structure is overall going towards this point. So if anything, I'm expecting a retest towards like this area, right? I'm expecting a retest in this area, and then for price to go higher, right? Over here. So in this point in time, right? In this point in time, so what you want to do is, once you know that there's PD areas below, what you want to do is wait for a market structure shift, right? So obviously in this scenario, you don't this is not really a market structure shift. You know why? Because there's resistant liquidity right above that. Like, so you want to obviously, like, you don't want to catch a falling knife. That's the whole idea, right? So you want to wait until this has been swept, right? You want to wait until this has been swept, because this fair value gap has been rebalanced over here. So you want to wait until this has been swept. Let's wait for this. Okay, give it some time, give it some time. Okay, so over here you can see that this has been swept. So what I'm expecting now is for price. So let's see when price has a manipulation wick. So it could be at any point. Maybe it will draw towards these highs, which is pretty likely, to be honest, because you know we're overall bullish, because we see this this was like a PD area on the 4 hour that was manipulated. So we're overall bullish, right? So we know for a fact that we're bullish. So it's all about finding a pullback entry, right, to be bullish. So all right, let me show you guys. So obviously we can see that there is a 15-minute order block. This has been reclaimed by this. So obviously I'm expecting a reclaimed order block at this scenario at this point in time as well. So now let's look at the lower time frames, the 1 minute. Okay, so you guys can see this is the break of structure. This high has been broken. I'm going to entry from here, targeting this low towards this high. Okay, see how that plays out. Put the stop loss a little below. Okay, like that. Boom. It's a 4.6. So you basically had 2 W trades, and in the span of like an hour, you managed to make like 10 times your money out of 2 trades. Literally. So this strategy is basically what I use. So let me show you guys. So let me just backtest this on at a different point in time. So again, same strategy, right? Obviously we know for a fact that we're basically bullish in this scenario, because why? This right here. This, right? The pullback's over, right? The pullback's over. So as you guys can see, in the grand scheme of things, we're basically still pulling back, but we have had this manipulation. So what's next? For the candles to be bullish. Look. See? So this is basically where we are at this current point in time. So basically where I'm expecting the points of interest are this, and this. Okay? So I'm assuming like in the same leg it would just basically draw towards this. But anyways, in this point in time, so obviously we know that we're bullish, right? So we swept this low, right? We swept this low. We know for a fact that we're bullish. Okay, so the last thing that you want to do is be bearish in this scenario. Okay, for example, over here, right? So for example, you see this low, right? This low has been rebalanced over here. So you guys can see that this, after this rebalance, this order block over here, right? Order. Okay, so over here, you guys can see that this has been the order block over here. So it forms a high over here. Price pulls back towards this zone. You could entry off this, right? You could entry off this. Price pulls back to the zone. Okay. As this displacement, actually no, it's after the first market structure shift. So for example, this is the first market structure shift. So it's from here. Okay. Then you want to put this stop loss slightly below this. Okay, slightly somewhere around here, and then stretch this all the way towards the previous draw on liquidity, right? Somewhere like you could TP here. Let's see how this plays out. So now we have some space to breathe. Oh my god, we're in the current point in time. I forgot that we can't backtest that. Oh, that's annoying. Let me just go back in time to like, let's go back in time to like over here or something. It's like some random spot. Okay. So obviously in this scenario, you guys can see that we are in fact bearish, right? Because price is trying to balance towards here. Okay. So obviously in this type of scenario, so even though we have these high draws, right? These high draws that needs to be rebalanced, you can see that in the current leg of price, we're bearish. Okay. As you guys can see, we're bearish. So we're breaking structure towards the downside. So in this scenario, until this point, you want to be bearish, okay? Because that's the bias. So now you guys can see we're pretty much bearish. We know that for a fact, right? So now the question is, where do we entry, right? So you can see that in this point in time, this has been a point of interest, right? This has been a point of interest. So what you want to do, I can't go down to 1 minute. Let me go back to a point in time where I can in fact go back. Gotta go very, very far, because like I have no idea where the 1 minute stops, right? Because it's like all these 1 minutes are basically just like few like a small change in the 4 hour. So let me just go here. Okay, this is a random point in time. So now let's jump into the 4 hour, see what 4 hour is doing. So as you guys can see, is this the same point in time as before? I don't know, but as you guys can see, I'm just gonna go over here. Okay, so you can see in this point in time, we took this high out. We're about to take this high out. Okay, we're about to take this high out. Okay, all these highs that have not been balanced out, these long-term highs. Okay, as you guys can see, all these highs. Okay, so each time each of these highs have been met, right? Especially a long-term high, like from here to here, this is like a huge jump, right? So when you usually have a long-term high, like especially if there's a lot of distance, you should expect price to low-key, like let's say it goes over here, you should expect price to low-key like rebalance all this and then go higher. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm going to show you guys is like over here, you guys can see that this is obviously bullish, right? Over here. So we're bullish on the 4 hour. So what I'm expecting here is for price to be, so you can see that over here. So this is basically where we are, the current price action. So obviously, like you can see over here, we had this fair value gap, order block. Okay, this has been mitigated over here. So keep in mind, these are small things that you should pay attention to. For example, this has been manipulated, and then you see the distribution leg, right? So which means this is mitigated. This fair value gap has been mitigated. The reason why this happened is because of the liquidity sweep from this swing low. Okay, you see this manipulation. Where is it drawing towards? Here. Okay, swing high. Okay. So once you see this, for example, once you see this manipulation, and once you see a market structure shift, oh my god, are you serious? Okay, let's say for example, there is a clear market structure shift on the 1 minute. Okay, so like over here, you see a market structure shift. Let's say like imagine this is the market structure on the 1 minute. Okay, I can't go back in time obviously because of this, but let's say this is the market structure, right? So you entry from like, let's say there's some sort of PD area somewhere here, then you entry, put your stop loss a little below, and now you target. You can even target this as your first draw on liquidity because it gives you a pretty good ratio, but overall you can target up to, I would personally target only up to, because this order block, right? I would personally only target up to like the lows of the order block just to be safe. Okay, so now let's see how this plays out. There we go. See, so you can see that this makes the displacement ever so smaller because it's reacting off this order block. That's why I wanna like not involve as much after this order block, like at the low, like after we enter towards the order block. That's why I TP here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this order block, for example, these order blocks over here, where is it? Okay, this level has already been reclaimed by this manipulation work. So obviously we have the sell off and we have this buy towards this draw. But eventually I'm expecting price to go here, but that's not a point where I would TP towards. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, let's see if it really goes there. So you can see the displacement is saying otherwise. See, told you guys. See, even the displacement was indicating the fact that it's basically getting ever so smaller. Why did I TP here? Because of this order block. You can see this. I TP'd right here. See how it's like picture perfect? It's like picture perfect right now. See, you exit right as like things are supposed to go the other way around. So the order blocks, obviously, like in my opinion at least, because that's what I always do, you should TP below the order block, because there's a pretty good level of like significant level of risk involved in involving in an order blocks area, like territory, for example. You see, this is a clear example right here. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I want to show you guys. I don't want to keep this short and sweet. And yeah, that's basically what I want to show you guys. Is basically how I approach the markets, and this is how profitability is done, right? Of course, apart from that, it's risk management. I actually TP'd like a little higher. It's supposed to be like this low of this wick, right? So it's basically right here. Yeah, so 3.6 out of this. So that's how you get guaranteed trades and not something that would just flip on your head, right? Because for example, if we went a little higher, like let's say I TP'd somewhere here, like I would have obviously lost that trade. Look at this momentum all the way. Look at all this. Just a falling knife. See? So it's basically something that I want you guys to know, because I don't want you guys to lose money. Backtest this. Don't take my word for it. Backtest this. Backtest the shit out of the strategy and apply it in the markets, okay? I've spent countless nights just backtesting this. So yeah, that's